Hello entrepreneurs. I recorded some videos, two videos about the number one skill that all of us entrepreneurs are gonna need in order to help our business survive, and not only that, to help our business thrive. And this skill is intuition. So all of us entrepreneurs are gonna need our intuition to guide us through all this noise in this world we live in, and also guide us to do the best, to do the best really for our business, to make the best strategy, to make the best decisions for our business, and of course in the end for our lives. In those videos I told you why I believe that's true. I also told you what intuition really is and what isn't. And I told you as well how to listen to your intuition and how to use your intuition in your business. So in this video, I want to tell you how to develop your intuition and use that in your business. So there are two ways of using your intuition. Either way, we need to develop something that is really important for all of us humans, but especially for us entrepreneurs, which is our emotional maturity, our emotional intelligence. And the first thing we got to do to develop our emotional intelligence is to work on our fears. So fear has got a very important role in our lives, which is to keep us safe. So our fear essentially wants to keep us safe and secure and make sure that we're not going to die. But you know, most of the fears we have are pretty much illusions created by our conflicting mindsets, like just to push us out of, or push us back into our comfort zone. So there is when we truly have to change our mindset. So last year I spent, I don't know, 2 or 3 months of my life digging and doing really this mindset work on myself, and sometimes using other professionals as well. And why did I do this? Because I had so many conflicts in my mindset that it was creating so much fear that I couldn't act. So a lot of times this fear that we have just don't allow us to act. And the action and our attitude is what is going to bring us the results we want. So if the fear is just blocking us from these attitudes, guess what? The results that we're going to have in our lives are not exactly what we want. So our mindset is just the program that it's going to rule our lives. So we got our mindset, and we got our attitudes, and then we got the results. So it's extremely important that we change these mindsets. So I'm going to give you one example. So I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. Always. Since I was, I don't know, a kid, and then as I grew up, I would really look up to all entrepreneurs in my life. And anyway, but I still had, even when I decided that I would become an entrepreneur, I still had the employee mindset that I needed someone to look after me. I needed to have stability, like revenue or just earnings stability. And that was really putting me into fear mode, because yes, I want to be responsible for myself and also have employees with me and pay for services and all this stuff. But then the employee mindset kicks in, like, oh no, it's too hard, it's too much work. Oh, if you go back to working for someone, it's going to be much easier. So all these conflicts start building all the fear. So this is just one example of a mindset. So there are so many different mindsets that sometimes is really pushing us out of our balance. And totally creates fear. And of course, in the end, it doesn't really create the results that we want. So another thing to think about when we're talking about fear is to change our environment, changing the people we're dealing with. So a lot of times I noticed that if I had friends that were really fearful, I would end up being fearful as well. So there is a quote they say, like, you are the average of the 5 people you are most of the time with. And this is so true. If you are surrounded by fearful people, you're going to become fearful as well. And you can change your mindset as much as you want. Guess what? You're going to still continue feeling that fear. And one more thing that you can do to, really stabilize this fear or just keep it down is to change your environment. So a lot of times I noticed that when I was working too much from my office, I would start getting a bit panicky or in fear mode and all this stuff, because I don't know, my office has got a good size, but once we change our environment and go to a more open space, we start having different ideas. It really changes our physiology. So every now and then I really go out into nature or go out of my office. I try to have ideas from different places than my office. And this is essential for me to not really go into that fearful mode again. And another thing that can help you to stabilize this fear and really start building this emotional maturity is to ask yourself, what is the thing that you fear the most in your life? So this one question really can put us into really reflecting on what is the thing we fear the most, because it's never really that. When you go deeper and deeper and deeper, you find what really is that you fear. So you can ask that to yourself, what is the thing that you fear the most? And then you can keep asking yourself, and what is the worst thing that can happen if this fear really happens in your life? And then, question after question, you really find the bottom of this fear, which is really never what you first said. So I highly recommend you to do this exercise. So this is the number one thing to create emotional intelligence, is to really stabilize our fear or to keep it down. So we work on our mindset, we change the people we're surrounded by, and also our environment. It can really help us to become more mature emotionally. And when this happens, we can listen to our intuition, because even sometimes I noticed that with me, that I could listen to my intuition. My intuition was there telling me what to do, but I wouldn't go forward with that, what my intuition was telling me, because I was so afraid. So it works both ways here. It both help you to listen to your intuition and also to act according to what you heard your intuition telling you. Okay, so, and one more thing that can help you to develop this emotional maturity or emotional intelligence is to meditate. There's no way out of it. We need to meditate literally every day. It took me a while to really create this habit of meditating every day. But once I did, things really changed in my life. I no longer feel stuck in the feelings, or stuck in fear, or stuck in, panic mode. Sometimes, of course, I do feel things that are unpleasant, but when we meditate, we really create the possibility of bounce back from these feelings in a much faster way, in a much easier way. So if you liked these tips, if they helped you, please let me know in the comments below, and also help me to reach more people like you by leaving a like, and also make sure to subscribe and turn the bell on to be notified when more of this sort of contents will come up. Okay, so I'll see you soon.